And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to say the word sponge. And you guys are going to say the first word that pops into your head, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, sponge.
Sponge.
Yellow.
Sponge.
That's mine.
I command you, as King of the Britons, to stand aside.
I move for no man.
Hey, can I bring Anne?
Who?
Anne. You know, she's the girl I'm kind of hanging out with.
I haven't met him.
Yes, you have.
Michael had met Anne.
It's Hard-Headed Sports with Spinny and Fetty Bus. Famous for their podcasts, you can now catch them right here on The Al Travis Show.
And we've got with Spinny and Fetty Bus. Boys, thanks for coming on the program. What a ball game last night. I tell you, the NBA Finals, for having the smallest teams you can get in the finals, are making it entertaining. I'm almost to the point of I might be changing my thoughts on how this series is going to go. Spinny, your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it was a great game last night, honestly. It was fun to see a start-to-finish competitive game because we've kind of seen the Pacers get basically their butts kicked for all but 5 or 6 minutes of game 1 and game 2, and then they just made that great comeback, obviously, in game 1. So it was fun to see a start-to-finish, very close game. Tyrese Halliburton had a great game from a aggressiveness perspective, which I think is the way that Indiana is most successful. And then credit to both Neesmith and Nembhard in the way they guarded SGA. Physical, not fouling on. They fouled a lot when he wasn't shooting, but not a ton of shooting fouls. Aggressive, made him get off his spot. I thought that was a great job by Indiana as well.
Buzz, what he's talking about SGA, he was down. He's been scoring about 36 points a game. He's down to 24. That's how much defense they put on this cat. But, Buzz, you got to love the difference in the benches. I think it was 49 points for the bench for the Pacers and like 18 for the Thunder.
Yeah, this was the Benedict Mathurin game for sure. 27 points and 22 minutes off the bench for the Pacers. I always kind of thought that he would maybe have one of these games in him in this series. He kind of had an explosive game like this in every series throughout the playoffs so far. So he stepped up in a big way. And like Spinny said on that defense part, they forced SGA to 6 turnovers, which I think is probably his highest mark in the entire playoffs. So
they were in his head from the beginning. Now, Spinny, 80% of the teams that win the first 2 out of 3 in the beginning will win the series. Do you think this is over then?
No, I obviously don't think this is over. I think in most of those times, the better team is the one to be up 2-1. And in this scenario, I think we can all say the better team right now, on paper at least, is not up 2-1. Now, the reason I thought that win was so encouraging for us as NBA fans is the series is going 6 for sure, probably going 7 now at this point. So we're looking at a great NBA Finals, which I'm looking forward to, but I would not count OKC out in any way at all.
Bus, where are you at on this? This has got to be tough on that squad. This team doesn't know how to lose 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm pretty much with Spinning. You can't really count the Thunder out. It's hard to count on a team that won 68 games, and they're up to whatever, like 85 wins already. Yeah. So it's tough to count on a team like that just knows how to win and get games done. But the Pacers, I just don't even know what to say about this team anymore. I feel like I've said that probably 15 different times this playoffs run. They're just continue to shock you no matter what. They just keep fighting.
I think there's some darn good coaching going on both sides. I thoroughly believe now that we will see OKC come back and do a bit of a throttling on, Friday night? Friday night at 7:30. I believe that's what's going to happen. And this goes back then to OKC, all tied up, 2 out of 3 matchup. How far off am I, Spin?
I don't think you're far off. I mean, I think OKC will be the overwhelming favorite in Game 4, and I think it's probably a 2-2 series going back to Oklahoma City.
As it sits right now, Spin, 6.5 points. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, point-wise, I'm curious to see what the odds are of them just winning straight up. It's probably like neg 400 to neg 500 right now for them to just win the game. So that's. Yeah, it should be interesting, though. Bus and I have been the biggest Indiana haters basically consistently throughout the season, so I'm still going to –
But you're open-minded enough. You've got to be looking and saying, I might be changing my mind. At some points, it was fluky. Sometimes I thought, okay, they're just a decent team. This is a quality basketball team.
Agreed.
Bus, your thoughts on the game on Friday?
Yeah, I'm also obviously expecting a 2-2 coming back to OKC in Game 5. I don't know if the OKC always seems to have one of these type of games on the road. You just go back to each of the series. I mean, even the Wolves series, right? Of the one game we won, we killed them. That was on the road, right? And they kind of made the adjustments and bounced back the second road game. So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Well, this is what I'm saying about the coaching. It seems like each coach, with this much time in between games, for heaven's sakes, come up with pretty good plans to counter what happened last time. It'll be great to see what OKC does on Friday. Other NBA news, if we can. Kevin Durant wants out. Did you guys read this stuff? He is actually considering, him and the guys with Phoenix, working on trying to find him a place to land. Your thoughts? I'm looking at the teams that they're telling me he's looking at: the Rockets, the Spurs, Heat, Timberwolves, and Knicks.
Yeah, KD wants to win. Sounds like San Antonio is the destination he really, really wants, but Minnesota
because of Victor. Why does Victor make somebody look that? Does he think he can compliment him that much?
I mean, I think Victor, and then they got De'Aaron Fox as well. Yeah, they got a bunch of picks, so they could probably trade for KD without giving up too much. And I think, Victor, Wemby, Wemby, KD, De'Aaron Fox, and all the supporting pieces they have. I think he thinks they have a good chance to win there with that. But in Wolves news, it sounds like the Wolves trade was revolving around Dante DiVincenzo, Rudy, and Rob Dillingham. It sounds like that's what our offer is right now for KD.
I'd do that in a minute. Your thoughts, Bus?
I would do that too, honestly.
Yeah.
As long as like Nas, Jaden Daniels, and
Randall,
maybe even TSJ. As long as those guys aren't involved in the deal, I'm pretty much for any combination that makes it work. Especially if you're able to get KD while keeping Julius Randle. I think Julius Randle as a third scoring option would be incredible. And the main reason I do think, yes, I think KD thinks he can win with the Spurs, but a lot of it comes down to that cap room they have. They haven't had to pay Wemby yet. Obviously, he's still a rookie. So he probably thinks that they could give him a nice 2 or 3 year deal as he's trying to close out his career here.
What about the Knicks, though? If I'm looking at it from KD's point of view, right? Wolves, Knicks, both in the finals, right? In each of their respective finals. Do you not look at him thinking me and Cat and what's his name? Their point guard. Yeah. You don't think he looks at that and think that's meat and the potatoes? We can get to the finals with that.
I just don't think a team with Durant at 39, Cade or Brunson and Cat as your three best players can win a championship. Who's playing defense on that team? Who's playing defense on? Who's guarding a single human on that team?
It's a good point. And then do you go to a team that doesn't have a head coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think
because you don't know who's going to show up.
Figured out, but I think the Knicks are more in the Giannis play. Seems like they're trying to get Jason Kidd super hard. Jason Kidd and Giannis, really close relationship. Loved working with each other when Kidd was in Milwaukee. Giannis, huge admirer of him. So it seems like that's really what the Knicks are trying to do is turn Karl Anthony Towns into Giannis and have Jason Kidd be their head coach.
Interesting. All right. We've got to go to break. We'll talk more, I guess, as the week goes on here. This NBA Finals is just taking forever, and we'll get more time to talk about that. We got to talk your Minnesota Twins and your Lynx. We'll do that with the guys here, Spinny and Fetty Bus. The other guys, of course, from Hard Headed Sports.
Dust from livestock buildings can be harmful to your animals and to you. Coughing animals can lead to costly vet visits and other serious health problems. Now there's an environmentally safe solution for your dust problems. It's called Dust Lock. Dust Lock can control the dust all summer long with just one application. Protect your animals and your health with Dust Lock. Learn more at dustlock.com.
Do you have a closet full of old videos, photos, slides, or films? Regain that space and preserve those memories for future generations. Visit archivinglifemedia.com. or call 952-829-8018. See how safe and simple it is to digitize all your media. Gain peace of mind knowing that all those important memories will be saved and can be seen and shared again. Do it today. Check out archivinglifemedia.com or give them a call, 952-829-8018.
Amongst friends, the Al Travis Show. Nothing but talk.
We've got Spinny and Fetty Buzz from Hard-Headed Sports. Pick them up wherever you get your podcasts. John, let's talk the Minnesota Twins. It's such a strange day to me. Twins end up winning yesterday, and it was Byron Buxton. He had, I think, a 479-yard foot homer. Also had an amazing catch in the outfield. They end up winning 6-2. And against Texas, so we could actually win that series today with a win at 12. But here's my problem. They actually got rid of a pitcher. Minnesota did. That Alcula kid, they got rid of for a Red Sox minor leaguer. Under the impression he's a fielder. Hopefully he can pitch a couple innings when he gets over here. What do you think? Does Minnesota, and he's not a great pitcher. Alcula's had a tough year. Can we give up any more pitching? What is Minnesota thinking? Bus.
That's just kind of a classic Twins move, in my opinion, trading a player for a minor leaguer. I feel like we're always trading guys that could play for minor leaguers, guys that are, a couple years away. Obviously, like you said, he hasn't been that good this year, so from that standpoint, I don't know if it's that big of a deal. But yeah, just from the philosophy of continuing to trade pitching when that's been our biggest issue for how many years is obviously not good.
Well, you sit your number one pitcher and then the Zebby guy both go down. So in your starting lineup, you have nothing left. He's not a starting pitcher, but we are at times going to have to do that. Everybody pitches an inning game to get everybody back to fresh. Spinny, how do you get rid of a pitcher?
Yeah, it's obviously not probably ideal, but the performance, I didn't want that guy pitching games anyway, given what we had seen. So I guess you're right. I would have rather got some type of pitching back in return, but at the same point, I don't want him pitching games anyway, so I'm okay with it.
How often? We've had 2 games this week where we've had the outfielder guy come in and have to pitch an inning or so. When's the last time you saw that in June?
Yeah, usually not a June thing. Usually a late August.
When you're trying to limp through something. In June, we put this poor guy out there, and he's just pitching these lobs up. We got spanked by Texas 16-4. We come back and win 6-2. Can we keep a 500 average with it? We're in a really tough stretch. We lost the series. The Blue Jays could win Texas, I guess. Can we keep floating this? Can this continue on with the pitching that we've got? Buxton single-handedly won a game yesterday. Can that keep going?
It's going to be.
Oh, Spinny, go ahead.
It's going to be hard, I think. And like we talked about on Tuesday, the schedule in June is really, really tough. So we got to just, like you said, losing series 1-2 when we lose and winning 2-1 when we win, and just kind of trying to keep it from going 0-3 as much as possible. Also, if I was a betting man, I wish I could bet Buxton home run post really good catch. Like, after I saw that catch yesterday, I wanted
100%.
to know what the bet was for a Buxton home run, what the odds were, because every time man makes a good catch early in the game, he's fire for the rest of the game. Almost every single time.
Well, that's why we couldn't put him as a pinch hitter, right? Because as a pinch hitter, he didn't care. He wasn't in the game enough to get there. But this home run, by the way, the longest home run hit since 2019. I mean, it's been 6 years since somebody popped one that hard. You're absolutely right, Spinny. He's in the game. Bus?
Yeah, just the flow of the game. He just feeds off that energy. You know, the crowd gets into it a little bit when he makes those plays in the outfield, and he definitely needs that for just, like I said, kind of the flow of the game and getting into it. Because as a DH last year, he just couldn't get things going when he felt like he was struggling at the plate and couldn't make an impact in the game at all.
Maniac Twins fan, Senator Jeff Howe wants to weigh in. Senator, thanks for being here. I tell you what, I don't know if you're okay with what he did. Buxton, he was flying 100 miles an hour, lays it out. I mean, in my opinion, could have knocked himself unconscious, and that's what we get. Are you okay with him playing that hard? God, it was fun to watch.
You got to have some passion here, folks, and you're all looking for a reason to jump off the bandwagon. I can't believe it. A little bit of a disruption, and oh my God, we're going to jump off the bandwagon. You know what?
Oh, that hurts.
Buxton is what it's all about. You got to play with passion. Otherwise, why play the game?
Well, and it is infectious. You can watch the entire team when he comes around after doing something just get jacked up. Now, they can take that. I don't know what's with it's Bus and Spinny, Senator. Tell me what you think of this. These kids got to have that weird, I hit a home run, put the strange cap on, weird thing going on in the dugout. Can we get rid of that? I don't know how that's entertaining to Bus and Spinny.
What is that? I don't know. But you know
it's
what?
Talking about rally cap.
Keep on doing it if it works.
No, a rally cap back in the day, Spinny, the team would turn their hat inside out and shake it. Let's turn things around. That would be a rally cap. Now they've got, I don't know, what is it? A Roman helmet. Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know what it is. It's ridiculous. Why do you got to have that, Spinny, in your game? Why do you kids ruin everything?
Listen, Al, if there's something that gets them pumped to throw better or hit better, they could be doing triple handstands or braiding each other's hair or making friendship bracelets. I don't care. If they're winning games, I don't care what they're doing.
You should have brought up the friendship bracelet. That's going to happen next. One of these guys is going to go, every time I get home run, I'll make you a little bracelet. That's what's Spinny. You're going to start something there, and I'm going to hate it.
Now. If we got to make friendship bracelets to win games, let's freaking do it. Come on.
Have little charms for every one he hits.
Yeah. Those little candy necklaces so they can chew on them when they're out in the field.
What happened to those? Did we get rid of those?
Every one of y'all tell me that if it was required that the Twins made friendship bracelets in the dugout, but we were going to win 95 games, tell me you'd say no.
Well, no, I could not tell you no, but anyway, you guys are rocking my world. Thank you very much. One last thing, I'll just bring it up. We'll hit on it on Tuesday. The Lynx, you can jump off that bandwagon now. They lost the ball game.
Lost.
94-84.
That game too. They were down 8. Made plays, brought it back to 1, 2 threes. Kale McBride nailed one, and then they couldn't finish. Storm finished the game, but dang it all.
I say I take the blame for that loss because once again I jumped on the bandwagon, and 2 days later the teams lose. That's what happens when I jump. Oh, yeah. Somebody make me a friendship bracelet. We'll move on. All right, Boss Spinny, thanks for being here. How do we pick up your podcast, boys?
YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
All right, thank you guys. Get you guys back in here on Tuesday.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of